Julian Vance was not born. He was curated. He entered the world in a cold, sterile hospital in Zurich, the only child of an absent Swiss banker father and a Parisian socialite mother whose love was as fleeting as the seasons. His childhood was a series of silent, cavernous rooms in a chateau overlooking Lake Geneva, staffed by nannies who changed as often as the floral arrangements. His first language wasn't French or German, but flavor. At age 7, he was found by the family's private chef, an elderly, formidable man named Chef Moreau, in the chateau's vast kitchen. Julian was atop a stool, precisely deboning a quail with a paring knife he'd taken. He wasn't playing. His small face was a mask of absolute concentration. "What are you doing, boy?" Moreau had barked. "The structure is imperfect," the young Julian had replied, his voice devoid of childish inflection. "I'm fixing it," he said to the chef. Moreau, recognizing a terrifying prodigy, took the boy under his wing. For the next decade, the kitchen became Julian's world. He didn't go to school. Tutors came to him, their lessons on history and literature, a distant second to the alchemy of sauces and the physics of heat. By 18, he was in Paris, an apprentice at L'Ambroisie. By 22, he was the youngest sous chef in the restaurant's history. His rise was meteoric, fueled by an obsessive perfectionism that bordered on pathology. He didn't just cook, he controlled. His education was a tour of the world's finest and most brutal kitchens. He learned discipline in Tokyo, where a single grain of rice out of place was a moral failing. He learned creativity in San Sebastian, where molecular gastronomy turned food into science. He learned ruthlessness in New York, where the kitchen was a gladiatorial arena. The awards followed: the James Beard Rising Star, Food and Wine's Best New Chef, and finally, the Holy Grail, 3 Michelin stars for the Sunlit Orangery before he turned 40. He was the golden boy of the culinary world, his face on every magazine cover, his name whispered with reverence. But behind the accolades was a yawning emptiness. The accolades were just things to collect, like rare knives or vintage wines. They didn't fill the void where normal human connection should have been. The first time the thought of murder crossed his mind was years ago, in a tiny, humid kitchen in Bangkok. A fellow apprentice, a young man named Kai, had stolen Julian's recipe for a complex curry paste and presented it as his own. The head chef had praised Kai, and Julian had felt a cold, alien rage. That night, he'd found a small, colorful frog in the market, its skin glistening with a potent neurotoxin. He'd brought it back to their shared apartment. He didn't want to kill Kai, he just wanted to introduce a variable, to see what would happen if he tipped the scales. He'd rubbed a single drop of the toxin on the rim of Kai's water glass. The next morning, Kai didn't wake up. The official cause was an unknown allergic reaction. No one suspected the quiet, intense European boy who was already at the market, selecting fresh herbs. It was the most profound feeling Julian had ever experienced. It was power in its purest form. It was the ultimate control. He wasn't just a chef, he was a god. And like any artist, he knew he would one day need to create his masterpiece again. What do you think should happen next? Please let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and follow for more of The Final Course.